Hey everyone, we're back. Turns out Nargash had muted himself. So, the fight is over. What now?
Yes. So is the cult completely out of here, of this
Uh,
town now?
yes.
Um, well, with that, the Inquisitors, the Inquisitor's planet needs him, and he's going to go.
Okay.
Well, he'll get some kind of missive, and he's going to uh do an about face, and he will say that the Inquisition has called him elsewhere, and that the heresy must be purged in another town.
Okay.
That one might not be so lucky, and there might not be survivors in that one. But they cannot all go as smoothly as this one. And he just walks away.
Okay. And the guards will begin being stationed. Station 2 there. And wall patrols.
Uncrosses his arms and looks at everyone who had come into town before the attack happened. Like raising an eyebrow, he says, I guess I missed a step here. Why exactly did you just kill half the guards?
Who's he talking to?
You guys.
Anyone who's listening.
Oh, I think the reason just left.
One of the people who joined you, the guards, those guards will do other stuff.
Did we lose any of the loyal guards?
Roll me a d4
Four.
-1.
Well, no, they're dead up here.
No, they're not. They're incapacitated, so see how many actually died, so roll 1d4 -1. Okay, so three of them... No,
Max.
3 of them survive.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna say max die.
Maximum survive. So you only lost one of the loyal ones. So,
Okay, guys, I got unfortunately GTFO.
alright.
Thanks for the game. Have fun.
Have a good one.
So, let's see. 16 guards have survived that were loyal. So, 16 survived. You have the 3 people who helped you in the fight. And you're about to have 2 more people visiting. So, one of the people who helped you in the fight, the human dressed all in black and gray robes, will say, they were a member of a cult that has been trying to undermine this nation for the past year or so. They have, for the most part, succeeded, but this is a first victory in that path. And I am
Wait, I
going...
thought Tall Lorvus was a bad guy. Weren't we attacking him?
Yes. Lim. Wow.
Oh, okay, Liv's talking. Okay. I saw Tall move.
Now. That was weird. So, you'll say, I'm actually... Why are you trying to... Okay. I'm going to switch us over to the world map. And I'm going to begin...
Oh.
Well, you'll go back to that in a second. I am going to begin arcing stuff. And this is going to be fun. And I gotta figure out which of these are actually accurate. Why is there a hashtag Dan the Man? I had already deleted it.
Because I just added it. It has to be on all of our maps.
Okay. The Black Cult. Where has been taken over? Okay. Stop adding hashtag Dan the Mans.
That's not me.
I know it's not. 2, 3, 4.
Jeez. That was a lot.
Yes, it was. And there was one more. Lim will produce a map of the country, and coincidentally the entire world, and mark certain places off, and he'll say, these have been effectively overrun by the cult. The cult now controls the majority of the guard and the majority of the ruling faction. Up until recently, we had thought the cult was minor worshippers trying to unsettle the land just because they wanted to, but no, Brett Farving! We had thought they were trying to undermine the land, but we've recently discovered that they have much more power and abilities than we thought. As demonstrated here, a vast majority of them have infiltrated City Guard, Realm Protector, and other stations of power.
Looks over the map as he marks it and asks, so what made them show their hand at last? Like, what key component has, like, started this escalation hostility around the countryside?
It will be Queen Arturia who speaks up, and she will say, well, as far as we can tell, they've been securing resources and components for a ritual, and they have almost, if not all of them. We figure they will begin enacting their plan before the year is done. Oh, I didn't move the players back to that map. Okay. She'll say, we believe that when they are doing this now to unsettle everything and give themselves all of the time they need to fix everything they are trying to do and get it working. We're not sure what they're trying to do yet, unfortunately. She'll say, but unfortunately we've ended up in an even worse position as the capital of the city has been taken, for all intents and purposes.
Nargosh is going to go, uh-oh. And he'll say, that's probably where he went. So...
Where who went?
The Inquisitor.
No, he's probably going off somewhere. Who knows what he's doing?
Burning.
Not me. Well, trying to. But yes.
Purging.
They will point to the map again and say, things are looking bad. Things are looking very, very bad.
Well, for once it wasn't me that did it.
This time it wasn't my fault. I'm helping.
Yes. I am helping.
So all contact with these towns have been cut off? Is that why you suspect they're overtaken, or have you actually, like, ran reconnaissance on each of them?
The ones that haven't been marked off, we have not had any contact with or run reconnaissance on. The ones that are marked off, we've either had people firsthand tell us from inside of the city, or we've gone there and seen it ourselves. We don't know if this is spread to other nation or the other countries on the continent or not. And Queen Alex will speak up and say, not as far as I know in Arendauer, though there have been several strange cases. But I do not believe they are related to this, at least.
Well, we might... Are we gonna go to other towns and do this again? I don't... Nargosh is gonna look...
stronghold in my castle.
You can't even move that.
It moves up and down.
You can't move that usefully.
Yeah, but we don't really need to. Like it's up here, and the three closest places aren't under control yet.
Well, there's
Could recruit,
four.
train.
There's five.
Oh well.
There are 5 places that they either don't know of or believe are not under the control of the cult.
6.
I'm just talking about the 3.
Oh, yeah, 6.
There.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Say if the castle's here, Then
Other
you
side.
pull- What?
It was other side of it was up above the foggy home.
Oh, it's right on the coast.
Yeah.
That makes it better. We can have a navy. Anyway, you can pull from this town and this town and this town, train them up, roll out, then you just go down this way, drop some big ass bombs here and here, and then boom, right on down.
I saw where that was going as soon as you started drawing drop the bombs here. This has to go on YouTube, you jackass. If I have to blur out the screen.
You can draw a dick on YouTube.
Sometimes.
I saw a Russian man swinging his dick around while he was singing the Russian version of Pirates of the Caribbean's theme song. It
There
was
aren't-
5 minutes of
There
Russian
aren't
man's
lyrics
dick.
to that!
Oh, he was singing, and his dick was out.
But, it'll actually be another voice that will, speak up. And a person has emerged from behind where you guys were standing somehow. And he will say, as good as that would be, we don't have nearly enough people that could serve as a combatant in the locations that are left. And you will all notice that it's the king who's standing there. Yeah, well, I'm not clicking that.
I'm clicking it.
Let me move
Okay,
it.
I'll share it with Twitch too. Twitch deserves to see the Russian man's dongle.
Okay, so let me get...
Wait, does he actually... Am I gonna see this?
Yes, you're gonna see that.
He's actually singing.
I told you.
Okay.
He's really tan for someone from Russia.
His wang's even tanner.
It doesn't show it.
Your Majesties, out of the towns that you marked on this map, what brought you here exactly? Seems a chance meaning that we've all gathered in the same location.
Where did these two come from?
What,
Margosh
Blackblade
says.
and King Julius?
Yes.
Yeah, well, they walked into town. A little while ago. Yeah, just walked.
Welcome to the city of Nargosh.
It's kind of hard to say no to the king and the king's hand.
Well, I, as Nargosh, mayor of the city, welcome you to the city of Nargosh.
The king will say, "It is not a chance meeting. I had sent all of you here, and when I made it back and discovered that the capital has fallen, I knew that the greater part of my allies were here."
Oh.
So we are all that's left of the armies of this country.
He'll laugh for a second. We don't have an army. No one here has had an army in over 100 years. We didn't. Standing armies raise tensions. The closest we had was the Realm Protectors, but yes, this is all that we know is loyal still.
Wow, this is it? Like what we see on the screen?
More or less, say, for the most part, the towns that we haven't checked out or investigated in any way, we believe might still be loyal, but even then, maybe a % of the populace would be fighting capable.
You might be screwed, because you've got 4 of us and 10 of those. And
16.
you just go like motion at the guards.
There are 16 guards.
Oh, I only see 10.
There's 10 up
Looks
there,
over.
4 on the walls, and 2 at the gate.
Looks over at Watcher. Did you find any magical artifacts among the dead? Are they transmitting to each other in some fashion, or are they merely
Oh,
going
let me
on foot?
see. I'm gonna like put my hands up to my temples, like my fingers.
What? No.
I'm
No.
gonna- Whoa, 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 whoa. Do I detect
Nargosh
any magical,
Nargosh's head explodes.
any magic items or anything coming from any of these people over here?
Yes. Let me...
Oh, right in the middle of the pile?
No, it's not in the right in the middle. You're not going to go. They're not going to use them like leaves. You're not going to get a jump in the pile of corpses.
Really?
I was just gonna say Nargosh does.
There is a holy symbol of Bane, which radiates minor magic, and replace Bane with an abomination whose name I don't actually have. Just golden holy symbol. And
Nurgle.
it's basically a Nurgle. And a life drinker +1 or life drinker mace +1, which I believe is still an item.
My question was, are
Yes.
they using some kind of way to communicate with the other towns or their head command? Like, do they have any magical items that are allowing them communication from a distance, besides, traveling on horseback or messages?
You do not find anything, though. From your time in town, you do know that Tal Lorvis and Bulraza had both been priests of some sort. Priests, clerics, paladins, blackguard, anti-paladins.
Racist.
They had been... Oh, you shut up. They had some sort of magical powers, and so had Velos. So, if they had been communicating, it could have been entirely... Stop it!
You're retarded.
Their communication had been magical, but not in form of an item. It had been to deal with the actual people relaying the messages.
Then we've bought ourselves some time. None of the minions escaped this little trap. However, without that communications going towards the other towns, they might redirect some of their forces to check out what happened here. We might have to move on to another safe location before we plan our counteroffensive.
I think we should go to the castle immediately and use all available resources to arm ourselves.
Why do you want us inside your castle so bad?
No, no, I mean the king's castle. This guy.
In that place that was taken over? Let me bring up the map again.
Yeah, we have to do a secret mission into the armory.
Why do
Yeah.
we have weapons? And
But
Weiss
not
doesn't even
the-
use weapons.
But not the king's resources.
He just punches people in the throat.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty accurate description of the king as well.
They just punch people in the throat.
Really? No one has weapons? No one has, like, armor? Bracelets?
Everyone has their stuff that they need. One of the other figures who had arrived with the king will step forward and pull his cloak, or the cloak of his, the hood of his cloak, those are the correct words, down. His face is horribly scarred on both sides, and he will say, best to be avoiding the places that we know are taken over. Especially... If you want to know what he looks like, you can look up a picture of the Hound.
What's on your face?
I'll say, proof that I know that this cult is dangerous. He'll say,
You fugly.
it's got a higher charisma score than you.
Doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, because
That doesn't apply to this anymore.
charisma doesn't mean looks, it means force of personality. But he will say, the cult is exceptionally dangerous, especially considering who they're being backed by and or worshipping. Getting into the town, the highest concentration of realm protectors are there, with a vast majority of them probably in the employ of the cult, in addition to whatever reinforcements the cult might have there. It would be, and he'll look around, about the 10 of us versus forces in maybe the thousands. Stealth will only get us so far. Stealth can't get you past magical wardings most of the time.
What about the neighboring kingdoms? Is there a way to appeal to any of the other rulers about this growing threat?
Queen Alex will step up and say, I am doing the best I can to rally soldiers and town's guard, but that's still a time off. No one in the Great Kingdoms keeps a standing military except for maybe Drancairn. We aren't too keen on raising tensions beyond where they need to be after the Great War. Most of us have resigned to city guard and some sort of small but specialized military force. I'll say, I am trying, or like I had said, I'm trying to bring soldiers in, but it will be 2 months at the least. As for the Smolens and Tanalorn, I'd say even longer. They have more distances to travel and probably a lot longer to raise some sort of a military force.
Well, I think all we need to do is got a 24 to flex. Show them the guns.
Oh, here you go.
Nargosh.
Here you go.
Queen Arturia will speak up and say, my people do have a standing military, but I could only bring maybe 100. My royal guard and a small envoy of soldiers.
I look at Queen Aturia and I walk up to her and I say, I would be your special envoy if you'd have me.
Nice, hitting on King Arthur of Britain.
And I wink at her.
She'll just stare daggers at you, and you're fairly certain if she was some sort of arcane magician, you would probably have daggers through your body.
Hold on. Hold on.
I'd suggest that we send the surviving guard that we have to the 3 neighboring kingdoms with messages that of the current situation. Perhaps they can at least watch their borders just in case any invading forces might march southward or east. In the meantime, I suggest we make for a safer haven besides this town. As I said, they should be suspicious within a few days at least that there is no communication coming from here. Your Majesty, is there any place you would suggest that we adjourn our conference to?
He'll think for a second and he'll point to Watcher. You said you had a castle?
Who doesn't?
It's an evil castle.
Not only do I have a castle, I can control it. It's worded so only people that I say so can enter.
Evil.
And it's relatively new. Not many people know it's there.
It's floating in the sky.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not. It's on the ground. It was just underground before, so no one knew it was there. Shut up, we're going to my castle.
I'll say that does sound like a safe enough place, and it gives us... You had mentioned it was on the coast, right?
Yeah.
Bringing everyone back to the world map.
Not only is it on the coast, we could put it under the ground again if we wanted to hide.
It's the best siege location ever. Like, oh shit, a person! Boom!
like the army marches up, and like for 6 minutes they're marching up and just watching the castle slowly descend into the ground.
With
So, like-
Watcher on the parapet just flipping them off.
Pretty much. And then I'm flexing. Like, come at me, bro. You have to
We can still
excavate
see
me
his-
before you can kill me.
We can still see his head! Scratch him!
That's from the Simpsons episode.
It is. I got his hat!
I was like, no! Bring the castle back up.
Just all these people just fly everywhere.
I'll say,
So my castle is there.
and let me mark where you guys are, and then I'll let you figure out how you want to get there. You guys are there.
Obviously. Like that.
Is Jarl leading this?
I'm sorry, you guys would make it to the small end, and then there would be Dave's Folly 2. The king will suggest either... Oops, I missed what I was trying to hit. Yeah, either the one you put down or the one he put down. The
I
one...
guess if we went this way, you could see about that. Or this way too. Look, you can just hit both towns pull whatever followers we can from those towns and go up here. Like
That's how
that,
Nargosh is getting there.
like that,
Mhm.
and then like that.
And that's 3 towns figured out.
And then we go here.
I think we should all split up, Scooby-Doo style.
You know, that makes a lot of
Because-
sense.
Trust me, you do not want to go there. That is that's a campaign for another time.
Well, Nargosh is going that way.
Oh God. Are you serious about splitting the party up?
No, just everybody stays together, but Nargosh is going that way.
Okay,
Just Nargosh.
okay. What's your woman say about this?
What?
You heard me.
Nargosh has no woman.
What's the real orc say?
I don't. Oh fuck! I have to stay. Never mind.
You almost forgot about that.
You're not
So
Gnarl.
Nargosh gets to about. Hold on. I need to zoom in a lot more for this.
Gets a pixel out of Wyminster.
He gets here. And then has to turn around, and then that's as far as Nargosh's solo career went. He didn't get very far at all.
No, he didn't.
He took one step in that direction, and she just went no. Oh.
Looks around at the bodies of the fallen cultists. Do they have any kind of identification marks that they tell each other apart from, or? I turn to the king. So, Your Majesty, have you noticed these cultists communicating with each other in a way that would signal they're a part of the same group, or how do they know each other?
It will actually be Blackblade who has an answer to this. And he will reach behind him and pull something out of a sheath on the back, or on his belt behind him, and pull forward a blade. A blade you have seen before. A black dagger. With a mark that is very familiar. I'll say this is how they identify themselves generally. They carry the blade on the back of their belt. The hilt itself is tilted usually in such a way as to only show a small shade of the green.
Is it the same one that like this? And then Nargosh pulls out that black dagger that we got.
Yes, it is exactly the same.
Oh. Well, then we don't need this anymore. So he's just gonna throw it.
Let's say, though, admittedly, those are cheap imitation knockoffs of the real thing.
Oh, well. But it still does the cool necrosing.
Yes, all of them do, except there is one that all of these are based off of. And he will pull another blade out. Almost exactly the same, except instead of black, the blade is purple. I'll say it's based off of this one.
Ugh, so glad the Inquisitor's not here.
The Inquisitor couldn't take me in a fight.
Oh, that was inside thought.
Yeah, no, I know. Responding to your inside thought. This is the Royal Assassin. If the Inquisitor could take him, he'd be a terrible Royal Assassin.
I don't know. He's got a lot of healing.
He's got a dagger that he uses to give you a black smile. You know, all of the Joker smile. And
Yeah.
he can necrose any wound that he causes. So no amount of healing is going to help.
Wait. He does necrotic damage?
Yes, he does.
The Inquisitor resists 10.
Yeah, he can just dictate if the wound festers or not. Like,
Yeah.
he's got an exceptionally powerful dagger. Which is
Okay,
why
well,
it's good that they only have cheap imitation knockoffs.
Let's not make it a dick measuring contest.
No, it's not. The Inquisitor probably won't try and kill him, hopefully.
Eh.
If he does, you'll be down one ally either way.
I wouldn't go far as saying he's an ally.
The Inquisitor or the Assassin?
The Inquisitor.
Ow. But,
Well, we seem to have an abundance of these daggers now. He looks around at the fallen bodies. So I'm sure they each have one, right?
Yes, they do.
So I suggest we each take one, just in case we're spotted on the road. But I have another idea also. If Your Majesty would follow me, and I would proceed to the prison or the temporary holding place that all those bandits came from.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing none of them are against us. They're just kind of rogues and everything. And I would announce towards all the prisoners that are like probably like snarking from the other side of the cells is like allow me to introduce, and then the king would step forward and announce himself, I guess. How would the bandits like respond to seeing the like whole leader of the kingdom?
Few of them just sort of snort and say, that's probably not the king. We've never seen him before. The other ones are like, oh boy, this is the king. What have we gotten ourselves into? It's about half and half.
I would turn toward His Majesty and say, perhaps we have an army after all, but in a different way. It's like, what if we let these prisoners, like, what if you give them a full pardon in exchange for their services? All these towns, and then I would kind of show the map to each of the prisoners. I would say, listen up. Each of these towns are now fair game, and with Your Majesty's permission, they would have full pardon for looting and plundering anything that they can. However, you would have to gather your forces and other contacts along the road to help you strategically take on each of these points. As I said, fair game and full pardon from the kingdom, just to cause whatever kind of trouble for supply routes or any kind of caravans on the road from any of these spots.
The king will think it over, and he'll call over Blackblade, and Blackblade will then call over Lim, and the king will say to Lim at least, if you're going with them, and Lim will just nod and say, very well. Say, they have, as long as they agree to follow the terms and conditions laid down, they have free reign to, during this time of crisis, do what they must to harry supply lines or try and reclaim towns if they can.
So I would turn towards the prisoners. What say you, men? You're a freedom, fair game on any supply routes, all the loot, and the backing of the kingdom to do as you will. It's like, will you join us?
Most of them will think it over for a second, but the general consensus is, yeah, sure, let's do that. It beats getting probably death in prison. Because that's generally what bandits are dealt when they're captured. So, let me start making a note of... Let's see, there were about 25 of them. 25 bandits. 16 guards. Lim, Arturia, Alex, Blackblade, and Julius. Okay, so you have at least somewhat of a start. Somewhere to go from. Which is good and better than you had been doing. Why are you measuring across the map?
Because I want to see how far it is. 600,000.
It's about 6,850 feet. Alright, 6,850 miles.
So just add 2 zeros to whatever we got here.
Mm-hmm.
Vice would open the locks and point towards where all the bodies are. Take what you want from there. I would suggest each of you to take one of these daggers for safe passage through these cult-infested lands. It's like,
I wouldn't give them the daggers. Because then if somebody... Because if somebody else catches them, then they're going to think that they're cultists.
Well, this whole land is filled with cultists now. And they're bandits, I mean.
Yeah, exactly. And do you really want to give common bandits a one-hit kill weapon?
With the kingdom being totally overrun at the moment, and their basically given free reign to do whatever they want as long as they are hindering, I think that we can trust them for that far. I mean, there's no law in this kingdom anymore. Besides us, there's like nothing besides cultists, and I'm sure whatever good people fled to the other countries are dying as we speak. So giving them any kind of advantage to help them do as they will, it sounds like a good idea to me.
Alright. But it's your fault if it goes wrong. I didn't do it.
You just don't want the
Everybody-
gods to be pissed at you again.
Everybody blames me. It's not my fault.
I would also ask if they have any like fellows around the other towns or something that they could get a hold of to increase their numbers. They would each be given free reign also to join up with them, and it'd be kind of like this whole kingdom could be like bandit paradise if they can gather their forces together.
They think they can at least double their numbers, so bringing them up to 50, but they can probably get some momentum going as they start actually doing stuff, so as long as they don't get outright destroyed in a single, like, raid, chances are they're going to start getting bigger and bigger until they're a sizable force that can deal with the enemy very effectively.
What, are bandits?
Yeah.
Ew, that's weird.
There are a lot of people who have sort of misdealings, black market style stuff, or, you know, less than legal stuff. And if they see bandits going around being successful, chances are they're likely to join up, because if a bandit is profitable, it means they can be profitable too.
So in a way, we do have an army growing here.
Yep. But
So
if they suffer too big of a loss at any given time, it might destroy morale. So it's a double-edged sword. They will get, you know, very powerful very quickly if they're successful, but if they happen to run into any good resistance, they might just break to the corners of the kingdom.
Yeah.
And then I'll hunt
But-
them down.
But still, they know this land pretty well, and they were at least competent enough to have a slightly successful bandit camp against the town that we're currently in. I mean, so much that the cultists that were actually in our town weren't able to hinder them blocking trade, and I mean, I had to go take care of it, so at least we know that they can affect the cultists in like little ways, and that's good enough.
Yep.
I'm not asking them to directly like take over the town. I'm just asking them to like cause as much panic and trouble on the roads between each of these towns.
Okay. Do you have any other preparations you would like to make before you depart?
Well, I say we clean up this mess at least. If the cultists do get word of this town being being retaken, they're obviously going to try to figure out what happened. We need to cover our tracks as much as we can. I say we burn the bodies and bury our fallen comrade, and then head out.
Who died?
One of the guards.
Oh.
Only one. This is what happens when you go first. Alright. That will take about another day, but you can very easily do that.
Okay, Weiss is going to dress up as a cultist for the most part. He's like taken most of their armor off and like the cloaks and everything, then kind of distinguish them from each other.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna like put the majority of the disguises in his cart, like just in case we do have to run through some kind of blockade, we might be able to pass through it safely.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's gonna get it in his wagon and just wait for everyone else.
Okay. The other people do not have preparations they're going to make. Nargosh or Watcher. Any preparations? Other than H?
I need... Before we leave Wyminster?
Yes.
Well, there's nothing here now, is there?
Nope.
Then I have no preparations.
Okay. I will be making the interior of that castle much later. Okay. So, you're going to go from Lyminster to Gorga to Feldilla to Foggyholm?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. 5, 10. Okay. The trip is relatively uneventful. There are a few close calls, but the first leg of the trip from Wyminster to Gorga is basically through the desert, and you've made this trip once before. Upon arriving in Gorga, for the most part, it seems everyone is doing relatively fine, mostly unaware of what's going on. The only thing you notice is that the Mages Guild is shielded and apparently on high alert.
Well, I'm gonna go talk to them.
You cannot bypass the shield, and they're not letting anyone through the shield. There's a guard at the gate.
Hello?
It sort of singes your hand, and the guard just stares at you and says, "Be gone."
Like, well, that's rude. We even took care of Andreas for you people. I just turn away and walk away.
And there's about a beat pause, and he says, "You did what now?"
Yeah,
Yep.
you heard me.
I'm gonna throw Andreas' head at the gate.
It singes against the force field.
It just gets stuck.
I'm
It just
gonna-
gets
I'm gonna
stuck
grab
against
it.
the thing. It just
Yeah, I'm gonna
singes.
Nargosh is gonna jump at it. Like, oh, my head!
But I stop
Gonna
and I
grab
turn
it.
around, and I'm like, remember that deal we had? Well, we got rid of him, so I'd like my reward now.
The guard will stare at you for a second and head into the tower, and he's going for about 5 minutes before a mage of the council shows up. It's the one you had to deal with.
Like, hello.
She-
I just point at the head,
She
the singed head.
she stares at you for a second. Just, I thought you were dead.
Yeah, apparently that's a common thing, but I'm not, and he is. Again, pointing at the head. I'm doing the Blake Shelton finger point.
Well, let me go generate a reward.
Oh yeah.
I just typed ASM and it just finished Asmodeus, and I'm not going in the fucking corner. Let's see. Random encounter no, I wanted to render treasure trove. Level range. 5, 2, oh wait, no, hold on. I will get you the reward afterwards, but she's more impressed that you took care of, Andreas, the mage.
But like, that's right, you can just send it to me. Thanks. I'll be in my castle. Oh,
I'm gonna
that
burn
cracks
that
me up.
down.
How?
Nargosh is gonna look up at him and was like, I helped. I want a torch that can burn magic castles that are resistant to fire. No particular reason. And he's gonna stand there with his arms crossed, just looking up at them. That's what I want.
I'm gonna call up to him. Have there been any troubles lately around here? What reason do you have the shield up for?
There was recently a break-in, and they stole something very important. Whoever it was that stole the stuff.
So, hold on. Roll. What is my stat for this? 3. Does Nargosh notice the exclamation point above their head?
This is part of the story quest.
Guys, our quest log is so big right now. I don't think we have room for another one.
There's one quest, and it's called "Don't Fail Fighting the Cult."
Nargosh pulls a book out of his pocket actually, because he doesn't have a bag. He pulls a book, a huge tome, out of his pocket. He goes, look at this thing. It's like 1,000 pages long. We don't have room for another one. We should go.
We weren't going to ask anyone to try and reclaim what was stolen.
Oh, well then we'll do it.
Yeah, we'll do it. No problem. Just keep that magic stuff coming.
Do you even want to know what was stolen?
Oh yeah, right.
We'll figure it out.
What was stolen?
The mage, the board will stare at you for a second in disbelief. A spell engine was stolen.
A what?
Spell engine.
Oh.
Is that the thing that breaks things?
Yes, it consumes magic and converts it into some sort of power. Sometimes electrical power, sometimes magical power, sometimes anti-magical power. Sometimes power to summon the Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Wait, can you fit a castle in there?
No. It's about the size of a
try.
smelting furnace.
So if I try really hard,
You'd have to do it brick by brick.
I've got time.
You do not have that much time, Sisyphus.
What?
Alright, just so we're clear, Nargosh isn't allowed inside the castle.
I don't need to
No,
get
seriously.
it before I get.
I called you Sisyphus.
I know. I got it. Nargosh did.
Did you happen to get a look at who stole this before they got away?
No, there was just a notification that said, well then, sell it! Don't complain that you can't use it, sell it! I'll say, no, by the time we had received the alarm that the object had been displaced, the thieves were already gone. And we don't even know how. All we could find were trace amounts of teleportation magic, but we couldn't find a way back to where it had originated. Those two things do the exact same thing.
So I'm sorry. So you said
I was muted. Huh. I need to stop doing that.
That would probably be good.
hold on, so I can take notes for this. You said who took it where, what?
They don't know who took it. The only
Yeah.
thing they know is that someone used teleportation magic, very powerful teleportation magic, to get to it.
Wait, when was it taken?
Within the past month.
You know, Andreas had like these orbs that let him teleport willy-nilly, had his own little island and all that jazz. You think he maybe took it?
Considering he's been dead at this point for about 100 days before it was stolen,
Oh,
no.
maybe not.
Unless he's a lich.
Wouldn't be
Oh,
the
we
first
didn't-
time.
We didn't check on that.